What is it, guys? Welcome back to another video. If you guys are new here, hi, I'm Kai. I do all types of lifestyle videos, and something that I love on my channel is Disney. I have a Disneyland pass, and y'all, I have thoughts. I actually had a Magic Key video last year where I kind of just explained like the process of Magic Key and all that, but now I wanted to make a new video with just like my updated thoughts and just some things that I learned here and there. So I just want to share that with you guys because definitely I have a little bit of a different experience now, or some of my opinions kind of have changed because technically I did let my pass expire. I have a whole blog on that back in like the end of February, but I ended up getting it again by the end of March. So it's definitely been a very interesting time because, again, I had reasons to let it expire, but then I have reasons to get it again. There's some things about Magic Key that I don't really like. There's some things that I do like. And then there was other things that I found out way late into my pass that I was like, oh my gosh, I wish I knew that earlier. So we're just going to talk about all of that, just my updated thoughts and just things that I think you should know. And yes, let's not make this video too long. Let's get into it. Actually, we're going to begin with 2 unpopular opinions that I have. So please bear with me because I'm gonna explain them. Like, I know they sound horrible when I first say them, but I have, like, just hear me explain them, okay? Before you angrily type in a comment, okay? This isn't necessarily about Magic Key in itself, but it's more just like Disneyland. I think my number one most unpopular opinion is you can't complain that Disneyland is expensive and that it's crowded at the same time. And again, I know that sounds crazy. Let me explain. 2 things can be right at the same time. Is Disneyland expensive? Yes. I do agree that Disneyland is very, very expensive. And again, I'll get into this in terms of Magic Key right now in a little bit, but it is very expensive. I'm not going to pretend that it's not. Especially the state that the parks are in right now, especially Disneyland. There's not much to do and you're still paying that cost. However, what do you think will happen if tickets were cheaper? A lot more people are going to go and it's going to be even more crowded. Disney's going to keep pushing how much they can charge because they know people are paying for it, you know? Filming this on April 20th and I went last night. It was a Friday. I got there at like 9:30 and y'all, that park was still very full. After the fireworks, I did go on Big Thunder. It was actually a pretty quick line. However, for some reason, Matterhorn was like 120 minutes. Space Mountain was also a long wait. So I will say that Disneyland is expensive, but again, they kind of know what they're doing, you know? Yes, do they want more money? Of course. They also can't reduce prices, or they're gonna have to go back to doing reservations like even more intensely, you know? Like, you can't have one without the other, if that makes sense. They know they can charge more because people will pay. That's a whole other thing. But at the same time, again, crowd control wise, I know it sounds crazy. That's why it's a very unpopular opinion. So yes. So another unpopular opinion is that reservations are here to stay. Obviously, Disney World has changed some of their policies. Even pass holders don't have to do reservations anymore, but you guys have to remember that Disney World is 4 parks and 2 water parks, so that's 6 different places people can go. They have Disney Springs, which is huge. Our downtown Disney is like a hallway, let's be honest, but Disney Springs over there is huge. The 2 times that I've gone, I've never done a full loop around Disney Springs. It's always full. And again, since Disney Springs is open to anyone, like, you don't have to like have a pass or a ticket to go, it's definitely very crowded. But again, they have 4 different parks to choose from. There's so much more places to go. Whereas here at Disneyland, we only have Disneyland and California Adventure. And yeah, Disneyland does cater a little bit more to ticket holders. That's just a thing, which actually I do have a Knott's Berry Farm pass, and I actually want to do also a review for that pass because Knott's definitely needs their pass holders, where like Disneyland does not need their pass holders, if that makes sense. So I will say that Knott's does have great benefits for the pass holders. Like, you're definitely getting a money's worth because they definitely take care of you. They have so many rewards, so many fun things, whereas Disneyland, they know they can charge a lot for a pass and people are gonna buy it, if that makes sense. But anyways, back to the reservations. I think they're here to stay, at least for a very long time, because again, it's a smaller park. They're both smaller parks, and obviously they need to know who's gonna keep track of who's gonna be there. Also, very important, Flex Pass was already a thing in the old pass system. I feel like so many people forget about this. Flex Pass, I will say, was introduced like I think in 2018 or 2019. It was obviously very close before 2020 happened, but Flex Pass was a thing. And Flex Pass, if you guys saw my other video on Disney Magic Key, I talked a little bit about this. I had done a video on Flex Pass because I had gotten Flex Pass when it was announced, because again, it was a cheaper option. It was a reservation type of pass, and I had done a video and I deleted it. But Wayback Machine came through and I was able to find the link somehow, and I plugged it into Wayback Machine and it's still on there. So I'll include the link down below if you guys want to watch my Flex Pass video. Actually, I'm gonna save this note once I get to reservations, because of Flex Pass, something I liked about Flex Pass, or maybe I'll just say now. Something I liked about FlexPass is that they had 3 types of day. Obviously, the days that were blocked out, the pass wasn't like a free-for-all. There was days that were blocked out. 2 days that you can reserve, you know, if you wanted to go, you have to make a reservation. However, something that I love about FlexPass that I feel like Disney needs to bring back, at least for the top 2 tiers, is that they had green good to go days. And basically, those green days were days that you can just go into the park without a reservation, which again is such a neat idea. Obviously, I feel like they need to bring some sort of variation of that back into the at least the top 2 tier passes, because again, the top 2 tier passes are paying more and they should have more days available, but sometimes, again, I'll get into it right now. I have the highest pass, and let me just say, getting reservations has been a little bit difficult this time around. But yes, going back to FlexPass was already a thing. Disneyland was 100% already planning to do this type of reservation and type of pass even before Magic Key. I will say, obviously, they took an advantage once, you know, parks started opening up after, you know, 2020, that they needed to do reservations anyway, but it kind of just stuck on. But with Disneyland, again, it's a lot smaller of a park. We cannot really compare ourselves to Disney World, you know, unfortunately. I feel like reservations are definitely here to stay for a bit. Actually, with that, let's start talking about reservations. My cat is making an appearance, so if you guys see him, he'll be here. Say hi. He does not care. But yes, let's start talking about reservations, because again, reservations is the whole thing. It's what everyone talks about in terms of Magic Key. Obviously, prices is another thing, which I'll get into that too. But reservations, y'all, like I said, I had a pass originally. My first Magic Key pass I got was last year. So I got it at February 2022. Oh my gosh, I don't even know what day I'm in. 2023, and it expired February 2024, and I let it expire. So I got it again in March of this year. So I only had 1 month away from Disney, but anyways, when they first released Magic Key, actually up to the start of this year, they were releasing it in batches. So that would say Magic Key passes are going on sale now, and then you have to be on the queue, get them right away, and then they'll stop selling them. So they were doing that process for since Magic Key began. Obviously, I do think business-wise that wasn't a sustainable thing. Like, they have to keep making money, but that's also where things get difficult in terms of reservations, because like right now, as I'm filming this, I did check the website. You can still buy the top 3 passes. As of right now, you can still buy Inspire, Believe, and Enchant. Imagine is only available for renewal, but you can still buy them as of right now, which again, for the last 4 years that it was released, it was only when then Disneyland announced that they were getting released. So I feel like that does kind of change things, because now it's like available for anyone. You can go get a pass right now and like try to make reservations. I will say there's definitely more people getting passes every day, which kind of takes away reservations, which again, I'm not vouching for reservations like 100%, okay? Like, don't think that that's the thing, because I do feel like reservation system, they need to figure out how to do this, because again, I have Inspire, which is the highest pass, so I'm gonna tell you guys how much I'm paying. It's $1,649 for the year. That's a lot of money. And again, last year I didn't have any issues making reservations. The months were pretty clear. I could make a reservation for next Saturday, cool. But right now, this time around, it's been so difficult. Days have already been taken up completely, like weekends, even days of the week. So as of right now, it is April 20, like I said. There's no reservations today. There's no reservations for next weekend. April 24th, you can only start off at Disneyland. I'll also talk about what that means when there's only 1 park available. But May, if you guys see May, the first few Saturdays are already taken, and that's 2 Sundays. It's kind of like, are you serious? Like, I feel like now I have to plan almost too far ahead to just be like, I need to go to Disneyland. Like, when do I want to go to Disneyland? Obviously, I don't know how life plans out sometimes. So I'm like, wait, what? And I feel like that's been a little bit stressful. I feel like, again, it's something that Disney needs to figure out on their end of like how many reservations are available for people that are paying more money. Again, Disneyland was already sued about this. What weren't they? I'll include a screenshot if I remember, but they were already sued about this because again, someone was paying for the highest pass and like wasn't able to go because there wasn't no reservations available. So I have no idea why they haven't thought about fixing that, because again, I will say this time around it seems so much more difficult to get reservations than last time. So like my sister and I have had to already like book in advance because I'm like, okay, I don't want to not have the chance to go. But that also makes it difficult because like, for example, I have made plans with someone to go on a very specific date, and the day we chose there was no reservations available, and I was like, shoot. So I literally had to spend like almost all day refreshing the website to get a reservation. So thankfully I was able to get a reservation. It was perfectly for Disneyland because that's the park we're going to, but like, it shouldn't take me refreshing the website to get a reservation, you know? I'm paying so much money. There needs to be some sort of like leave. I don't know, like they need to figure that out. Break up the tiers, like, so this tier gets so many reservations, this tier gets so many reservations. I don't know, like it's just not too, like, I don't know how to explain it. They need to figure it out because it shouldn't be this difficult to get reservations, especially when you should be guaranteed those days, if that makes sense. Like, you're paying for those days. Also, another thing, this is a side note about the reservation system. You can't do reservations on the actual app, which I think it's just so weird. You can buy tickets on the app, but you do like book reservations, it'll take you to the Disneyland website, like obviously on the mobile website, or like if you're on your computer, it'll take you to the main website. I don't know how Disneyland has to figure out how to make an option for pass holders to make reservations straight on the app. Come on, Disneyland. So that's the thing. Reservations have been hard to do. Again, if you want to make a reservation, let me do a quick little screen recording so you guys can see. All you need to do is find a day that you want to go, click that day, and it'll take you to select a park, and then you just choose the park that you want to start off. That is very, very important. Actually, this is something I want to talk about as well. So you click the park that you want to start on, whether it's Disneyland and DCA. Basically, once it's 11, you can park hop, okay? So basically, this is only the option for what park you want to start at. Like, let's say you're arriving at 9 a.m. This is a park that you will have to go to. But once it's 11, you can go into either one. That's important, very, very important to note, because I did not know this. There are days, for example, let's go back to this, April 24th. April 24th only shows Disneyland. So if you click it, it'll just tell you Disneyland. And at first, I was like, does that mean I can only go into Disneyland that day? No, I just found out, which someone actually left a comment about this on my last Magic Key video, which was perfect. Thank you to whoever left that comment because it made me like search for this. But no, that just means that if you arrive like before 11 a.m., you can only go into Disneyland. But all Magic Keys are park hoppers, okay? That's very important to note. So even if that happens and you're like, oh, there's only one park available, that's only just before 11 a.m. After that, you can go into either park, no matter what. Even if the day says that there's 2 parks available, after 11 a.m., let's say you arrive at like 2, you can go into either park regardless of which one you reserve. I know that's a little confusing. I hope I'm explaining that right. But yes, so like let's say you're like, I made a reservation on the 25th and both parks said it available, but I chose DCA. But let's say you arrive at like 3 and you're like, oh man, I don't really want to go to DCA. You actually could go into Disneyland. It doesn't matter at that point. Once it passes the 11 a.m. park hopper time limit, you can go into either one regardless of which one you reserved, as long as you arrive after that time. That's also good to note because again, I didn't know that. Again, if one park is showing when you make the reservation, you can still park hop after 11 a.m. I didn't know that, which again, a lot of people didn't know that because again, someone left a question about that in my last Magic Key video. So again, important things to know. I didn't know that, so hope that makes sense. So another thing, I do have Inspire and it has parking already. I think Believe has like at least a discount on parking, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Believe has 50% off standard parking, Enchant has 25% off, and then Imagine has, is that 25 as well? I don't have my glasses on. I think they do. But for example, I think this is more for Inspire, but like preferred parking is obviously very expensive and you only get free standard parking. However, if you want to get preferred parking, like one day, like for example, like my parents are older and if I want to take them, like I don't want them to walk as far, you can actually just pay the difference. So I did that last time where I was like, hey, I have Inspire, I get free parking, but I want preferred, like how much would it be? You only have to pay the difference of what of the preferred parking cost is, which I thought was very interesting. So that is great. Another random tidbit, I feel like now I'm getting to random tidbits. The magnets. If you guys have not gotten a magnet, just contact either like there's a chat option on the app, which again, if you're an introvert like me, that works great. Or you can call them and then they'll put the request in for you, because that's been annoying. I've never gotten a magnet. I didn't get it for the first time I got Magic Key. Even when I had my pass in the old system, I've only got it once, the round ones, that's an AP, which throwback, but I never got the magnet. So this time around, I was like, I need to make sure to ask. They joined like a Facebook group of like pass holders and they all said like, you just have to ask. If you don't see them send it, just ask and they'll actually make sure to like send it to you. So again, make sure to do that. Since last time that I made this video, prices have gone up. So Inspire is $1,649. Like I said, they do have a monthly payment if you guys want to do that. The monthly payments is only available to Southern California residents, I do believe. Otherwise, you have to pay in full. Believe is $1,249. Chant is $849. And then Imagine is available for renewal only. Something that I do with my sister to determine which pass works for us. One, we can only mainly go on weekends because of our work schedule, the commute, all of that stuff. But also we take the price of what a park hopper would be. Like, let's say I'm like, let's look at what a Saturday pass hopper ticket costs, and we take the cost of the pass and divide that, so it tells you how many days. So basically right now for the park hopper and Inspire, it would be like 6.3 like visits, so technically we have to go at least like 7 times. 6 if you want to just be nice. That's how many times you should go where like the pass kind of pays off, and then after that it's essentially free, you know. But yes, that's a good way to look at which pass that you want. Obviously look at the benefits of what you want at the pass. Like, are you gonna go that much? Do you mind getting a pass with like no weekend? Weirdly, my sister and I have gone more nights lately, so I was like, maybe next time if I want to keep it, like I might go down a pass. We'll see. We're not there yet. I'm still like a month and a half into this new one. But I do say, going back to the expensive thing, I feel like Disneyland is definitely, the passes are very expensive for what is currently being offered. Disneyland is very in a kind of in-between states. Splash Mountain still closed. It's doing its reservation into Tiana. Haunted Mansion's been closed. Obviously right now, since it's technically considered off-season, there's doing a lot of refurb. So like, there's still a lot of stuff that isn't really available. Obviously they announced their expansion that it was approved, which is not until gonna be years from now, you know. But yes, Disneyland is definitely a little bit more expensive for what they're currently offering. So I'm not gonna pretend that it's not. Like, it's expensive, and you know, you kind of have to want to be there. It's definitely a lot for what they're offering, you know. So I do get people that like have that point. If it was like more offerings and like everything was open, cool, maybe it's worth it. But right now it's a very in-between state. So that's something again to think about. So that's my thoughts so far. Again, I'm not really a fan of the reservation how they have it now. I feel like if they want to keep the reservation system, they need to make updates to it. Like I said, the Flex Pass had those 3 type of dates. Again, I'll include the video from Wayback Machine down below so you guys can see back my old YouTube and my old look. The fact that they had like green days where you're good to go and don't have to make a reservation is such a neat idea. I feel like that would benefit a lot of people of like, especially like, you know, Inspire, who have like more of the time. Like, let's say like they get like a guaranteed day where they can just go in without a reservation. I feel like stuff like that will make the pass system a lot better. People don't have to refresh their website like constantly to just get a reservation. I feel like that's something that I guess I do want to say. Disney needs to work on the reservation system if they want to keep the reservation system. There's ways to make it better. Disneyland, you can do this. You have the money. So yes, that is my thoughts so far. Basically my experiences. Hopefully this helps somehow. This was just kind of more updated from my last video. If you guys want to see my last video, I do go a little bit more into other details of just like the pass system itself and like reservations and stuff. This was definitely more just like an update and like just my thoughts here and there. So hope this helps. If you guys have any questions, let me know down below. I would love to answer them, just in case there's other things that you guys want to know, anything, or you just want to like vent. It's an open spot here because I know that it's a tricky situation. I feel like, again, it goes back to what I was saying. 2 things can be true at the same time. Like, I love Disney, but I will say they have a lot of work to do and there's things that like they need to fix. Comment down below if you guys have any questions, anything else you want to know, anything you guys want to clear it up. I'd love to hear from you guys. And that is it for this video. Hope you give us a thumbs up and subscribe. I do a lot of Disney vlogs, so I love vlogging from my time there. So make sure to stick around and I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I'll see you guys later.